Marcus Frazier, Austin Manzella, Jim Reed, Tyler Blankenship, Matthew Mayo, and Cole Fowlerhan. 6 cars, 8 laps. They've got to be side by side right at the cone off of turn number 4. You can see our chief steward, James Don't Cecil, down there's got a good eye on the 15F and the 4PR. They've got to be side by side right at the cone off of 4. Up on the bar they go. Green flags in the air. Here we go. We are underway. The 7th annual Mike Moshier Classic. Frazier down on the bottom side, looking 3-4 wide, coming off of turn number 2. Tyler Blankenship with a power move around the outside up into P2. Right through the middle of turns 3 and 4 comes the 15F of Marcus Frazier from Santa Maria, California, leads lap number 1. Frazier, Blankenship, and Matt Mayo, your top 3. Bit of a slip of the grip from the 15F of Marcus Frazier. Now Blankenship all over his backside into turn number 3. Blankenship and Frazier battling it out for that top spot. The 13M of Matt Mayo in the number 3 position. The 4PR of Austin Manzella and Jim Reed rounding out your top 5. Frazier and Blankenship nose to tail into turns 1 and 2. A bit of a push from the 17B of Tyler Blankenship gives some space to the 15F of Marcus Frazier. A push once again from Blankenship. Now here comes Mayo all over his backside down the back straightaway. We're looking at 4 to go. Caution flag will fly off of turn number 4. We've got one all the way around right in front of our flag stand. The 21F of Cole Fowlerhan. Fowlerhan gets the candle lit. Once again, he'll tag the back of the field, brings out our first caution of the night on lap number 3 of heat race number 1. 3 laps in the books, 5 laps remaining. Marcus Frazier was putting some space between him and the 17B of Tyler Blankenship. That lead will be erased, and he'll be all over his backside once again. We'll see if the 17B can get that thing figured out. Looks a bit tight right now. Looks like he's been shoving the nose just a bit, and that's putting Matt Mayo all over his backside. So 3 very fast race cars out front right now. It's going to be the 15F of Marcus Frazier, 17B of Tyler Blankenship, the 13M of Matt Mayo. Austin Manzella will be behind Jim Reed from Strathmore, California, the 21F of Cole Fowlerhan. So the lineup is good. It'll be a single file restart for our heat race here tonight. Great looking piece right there in the number 3 spot, and that 13M of Matthew Mayo. Diamond IT sponsor on the quarter panels for the 13M machine. Very, very beautiful looking race car down the back straightaway right behind that 17B of Tyler Blankenship. The CX Wallet JCB Central California power entry. Green flag is back in the air, and here we go. Taking a peek around the outside goes Matt Mayo. Can he get a run off of 2? He will down the back straightaway, side by side into turn number 3. Side by side battle going on right behind your leader Marcus Frazier as he works off of turn number 4. He'll lead around that time again. Once again at the line, it's Matt Mayo just by a nose over Blankenship. That is 2 distinct grooves of racing the high side. Matt Mayo down on the bottom working as the 17B of Blankenship. Frazier, Blankenship now to the bottom side of Matt Mayo. Once again, side by side racing. Matt Mayo should get a run off of 2. He does. It clears at 17 into 3. Marcus Frazier this time buying the 15F machine at a 0.68 second lead over that battle for second. Blankenship battling back down on the bottom side, down the back straight into turn number 3. White flag in the air one more time around for Marcus Frazier. Frazier, Blankenship, Mayo, and the 4PR machine of Austin Manzella. Into turn number 3 for the final time. Marcus Frazier from Santa Maria, California will pick up the first heat race of the night. Tyler Blankenship in the number 2 spot. Matthew Mayo rounding out your top 3. Austin Manzella, Jim Reed, and Cole Fowlerhan rounding out your field for the first heat race of the night. So give it up from all the way from Santa Maria, California. Marcus Frazier picks up heat race number 1. So you can see Marcus Fraser down there on the apron of turn number 4 doing a post-race tech. So as per IMCA modified rules, they come down and do a post-race tech. Make sure they got all the G60s, all the stickers on the wheels. IMCA certified stickers. They check the rev boxes. Sometimes they check all kinds of things down there for the IMCA modifieds. Now heat race number 2 is out on the track, and they're getting lined up on the point from Bakersfield, California. The 22J of Andrew Johnston to his outside from right here in Bakersfield. The 28 of Brandon Jennings inside of row number 2. It's the number 68 B-Tough machine of Billy Simpkins, and to his outside is the number 70 of John McKinley. Rounding out the field, your current point leader here in 2022, and that's Skinny's Automotive, edged by Most Chassis. Number 4, it's Garrett Jernigan. Lights are out. We're going green flag racing off of turn number 2. This is heat race number 2 for the IMCA Northern Sport Mods. Just keep your eyes on the back of the field. That number 4 machine, Garrett Jernigan. Very fast piece underneath that racer out of Bakersfield, California, as we're creeping into turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. You can hear something going awry underneath the hood of that 22J of Andrew Johnston. It looks like the candle gets lit, but still having some mechanical issues down the back straightaway. But up front is the 28 of Brandon Jennings. Brandon Jennings leads his first IMCA modified heat race in that 28 machine. He's down through the middle of turns 1 and 2. Brings John McKinley with him down on the bottom side. And running third is Garrett Jernigan. Jennings off of turn number 4, leads lap number 2. John McKinley, Garrett Jernigan, Andrew Johnston, and Billy Simpkins rounding out your top 5. The man on the move, that's the edge by Most Chassis. Number 4 of Garrett Jernigan now taking a peek underneath the 70 of John McKinley. McKinley gets good drive off of turn number 4, puts some more space between him and Jernigan, but Jernigan closes in turns 1 and 2. Great 3-car battle up front. Brandon Jennings looks like he got a bit of a shove of the nose. Now here comes McKinley taking a peek underneath, but can't quite get there at the stripe. Jennings, McKinley, Jernigan, Johnston, and Simpkins. Billy Simpkins trying to find a way around that 22J machine down the back straight, and now they're side by side in turn number 3. Simpkins and Johnston side by side in turn number 1. That's the best battle on the track for that top 4 position. A bit of a shove of the nose from the 22J. Around goes the 68 of Billy Simpkins. 6 laps down this time by. We got 2 laps remaining now. Jernigan all the way underneath the 70 of McKinley, but can't quite make it stick off a 2. Switching up his line is Garrett Jernigan now trying the high side around the outside. Can he get it done? Squeaks it by a nose. Jernigan now with a white flag in the air. Can he get it done for the final time down the back straightaway as we got 1 around, but he keeps it going. Jernigan now to the inside of Brandon Jennings. Can he get it off of turn number 4? Jennings at the line. Brandon Jennings over Garrett Jernigan, John McKinley, Billy Simpkins, and the 22J of Andrew Johnston. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. What a heat race number 2 for the IMCA Northern Sport Mods. Getting it done, Brandon Jennings. Jennings making his way down to the apron. He's going to make his way all the way around turn number 4. And looks like he's going to get stopped right there. One of our officials checking the tires on that 28 machine. Make sure he is good to go as per IMCA modified rules. Gets the thumbs up, and that's your heat race winner, Brandon Jennings. Congratulations to that young man right there, picking up his first heat race win in 2022. That'll bring up heat race number 3. On the point from Fraser Park, California, the number 33 machine of Cale Kanky to his outside from Wasco, California, the 3M of Matt Wonkum. Inside of row number 2, currently sitting second in points in the Ethan Dotson Racing Victory Circle chassis number 74, Levi Kiefer. To his outside, looking for his second win here in 2022 in the 2-1-2, it's Nick Spainhoward. Inside of row number 3, the 47 of Brock Crawford, and to his outside, the 40 of Darren Blankenship. 6 cars here in heat race number 3 for the IMCA Northern Sport Mods. Coming up next will be our American Stock heat race number 1. Lineup is good, showing them 1 to go this time by. So your front row Out-of-towners from Fraser Park, California at 33 of Cale Kinky. And Wasco, California's Matt Wonkam in the 3M machine. Lot of fast cars right here in heat race number 3. Nudge your neighbor, make that friendly wager. That is my favorite saying from Mike Moshier himself. He would love to make a little friendly wager with his neighbor for ice cold Coca-Cola, maybe some French fries, maybe a nickel. Who's going to pick up the heat race win here on heat race number 3 for the IMCA Northern Sport Mods? Down the back straight, it's going to be Cale Kinky, but here comes a 3M of Wonkam on the outside. Contact between the 47 and the 212. Brock Crawford and Nick Spainhoward make contact, but no harm, no foul. They keep him going. Off a 2 down the back straight, Cale Kinky gets great drive as he goes into turn number 3. Dedicated down to the bottom side is Cale Kinky. Matt Wonkam right through the middle, and Levi Kiefer is searching high and low in the 74. Kinky, Wonkam, and Kiefer, that's your top 3. Nick Spainhoward gets a shove of the nose right there in 3 and 4. He's got to get on the binders. Now here comes Brock Crawford all over his backside once again. Kinky misses the mark a bit that time, but can he get the drive off at 2? He's got great forward bite in that 33 machine from Fraser Park, California. As we're coming up on the halfway mark this time by 4 laps down, 4 laps remaining for Cale Kinky. Levi Kiefer gets a bit tight in turns 1 and 2. Now here comes Nick Spainhoward to his inside drag race down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Kiefer, Spainhoward battling out for that top 3 off of 4. Diamond the corner just a bit for the 2-1-2, but he slips up, coming off a 2 down the back straightaway. Can't quite get underneath the 74 of Levi Kiefer. Cale Kinky from Fraser Park, California has led all 6 laps so far in this heat race number 3. Kiefer into the backside of Matt Wonkam. Kiefer gets up on the binders as the white flag comes out one more time around. Kiefer now to the inside of Wonkam, but he can't quite get the drive off at 2 into 3 and 4 for the final time. All the way from Fraser Park, California, off of turn number 4, Cale Kinky picks up the heat race win over Matt Wonkam. Levi Kiefer, Brock Crawford, and Nick Spainhoward. So great run from Cale Kinky, picks up the heat race win. Once again, Wasco, California's Matt Wonkam coming home second over Levi Kiefer, Brock Crawford, Nick Spainhoward, Darren Blankenship, and Brandon Jennings. So Cale Kinky made his way down to Post Tech right there on the bottom side of turn number 4. Thumbs up. So your heat race winner, that is Cale Kinky in that 33 machine. Next out of the gate is going to be our American Stock Division heat race number 1. Will look like this on the point from Santa Maria, California. The 68 of Danny Smith to his outside, the 72cc of Mason Conway. Inside of row number 2, we're looking for the 5 of David Wolford to his outside, the L787 of Ronald Lookadoo. Inside of row number 3, we're looking for the 78 of Sugar Boom Boom, James Williams, and to his outside, rounding out the field, the 58T of Troy Thomas Jr. On the point, once again, from Santa Maria, California, the 68 machine to his outside, the 72cc of Mason Conway. Mason Conway currently sitting second in the point standing in that 72cc machine. First timer in that number 5 of David Wolford in the L787 of Ronald Lookadoo. Sugar Boom Boom rounding out your field as we're green flag into turns 1 and 2 off a 2 down the back straight. Here comes Mason Conway with the big ponies underneath the hood around the outside into turns 3 and 4. Bit of a slip up from the 72cc. Up to the point goes a 68 of Danny Smith. Contact with Ronald Lookadoo. They get hooked up over there in 1 and 2. And here comes Sugar Boom Boom now to the inside of Mason Conway. Great battle going on up front, coming off a turn. Number 4 is going to be Mason Conway by a nose over the 78 of Sugar Boom Boom, James Williams. Caution flag will fly. Caution flag is out on the racing surface. As we got debris over there in turn number 3, you can see it right underneath that Budweiser Enjoy Responsibly, Drink Wiser sign down into turn number 3. Looks like some sheet metal. Looks like the right door off the L787 of Ronald Lookadoo. So my oh my, we've got a great battle already developing up in the front between Mason Conway and James Williams. And a great showing so far for David Wolford in his debut in that beautiful number 5 machine at Oildale, California. David Wolford. Then you pick up Ronald Lookadoo in that 68 of Danny Smith from Santa Maria, California. Lights are out. Green flag is flying right here off of turn number 4. Single file restart. Mason Conway picks up the loud pedal off of 4. Green flag's in the air. And here we go. Mason Conway down to the bottom side of turns 1 and 2. Just a bit higher up. Slip of the grip from the 78. And around goes the L787 all by his lonesome. But we stay green. Mason Conway, great lap around that time by. Put some space, 1.2 seconds back to the 78 of Sugar Boom Boom, James Williams. James Williams get tight over there in 2 once again. All kinds of sideways off of 2 down the back straightaway for Sugar Boom Boom. Nice and steady for the 72cc of Mason Conway. He leads lap number 4. We're halfway through heat race number 1. James Williams just barely hanging on to that 78 machine. He was all kinds of sideways, and sideways himself is that 5 of David Wolford. David Wolford gets real tight into 3 and 4. Now here comes Danny Smith. He'll get around. And now here comes the L787 of Ronald Lookadoo. Best battle on the tracks back there for 4th position coming off of turn number 2 as we've got a very sizable lead. Almost 4 seconds for the 72cc of Mason Conway over the 78 of James Williams. Ronald Lookadoo looking at the fits coming off of turn number 4. Barely hangs on. Up in the P3 goes Lookadoo. James Williams all kinds of sideways off of 2. Somehow holds on to it as the white flag's in the air this time by for Mason Conway. Mason Conway for the final time has a straightaway lead in the turn number 3. Down the bottom side he goes. You can see the flame shooting out underneath that 72cc machine as he comes off of turn number 4. Mason Conway picks up the heat race win. Working off of turn number 4, the 78 Sugar Boom Boom. He picks up the number 2 spot, and 3rd's going to go to Ronald Lookadoo. 4th is going to Danny Smith, and rounding out the top 5 is David Wolford. So you can see Mason Conway, he's making his way down to the apron once again. We've got post-tech for the American stock. So these cars have a one-wheel drive, if you will. So they'll get up on the roller. These cars do not have a spool or locked-up rear end. So these cars must go on the roller, and they cannot slip off. If they slip off of the roller, then it is a disqualification. He will not pick up the win. So Mason Conway, he's making his way up on the roller. He will have to get on the gas. And if it doesn't slip, he will be your victor for heat race number 1. And just like that, he got it done, ladies and gentlemen. Mason Conway picks up the heat race win. And now we are in heat race number 2. Your lineup will look like this. We've got little brother in that 25cc, that's Carson Conway. He's on the point for heat race number 2. To his outside, the 68S of Sonny Simpkins. Inside of row number 2, the 18E of Ryan Elcano. To his outside, your current point leader in the 74, it's Miranda Scott. Inside of row number 3 in the 19H, it's Roy Maynard. To his outside, the 69X of Tyler Weeks. 6 cars, 8 laps to distance once again for the American stock heat race number 2. So some heavy hitters in this one. Sonny Simpkins is looking for her first win in that Motor City Throwdown 68S machine. She's been on fire in her debut season. Rookie year in that 68S for Sonny Simpkins. Doing a phenomenal job in the point standings here in 2022. Your current point leader is that 74 Ethan Dotson Racing Miranda Scott entry. We'll see if she can pick up a win here in Bakersfield, California. Lights are up. We're going green flag racing right here off of turn number 4. Carson Conway and Sonny Simpkins. Green flags in the air, and here we go. Carson Conway down around the bottom side. He'll get the advantage off of turn number 2. Sonny Simpkins in the number 2 spot, rounding out your top 3. That's the 74 of Miranda Scott. Here comes Sonny now, taking a peek underneath off of turn number 4. She'll get that position. Your leader, Sonny Simpkins. Sonny Simpkins, Carson Conway, Miranda Scott, Ryan Elcano, the 19H of Roy Maynard Jr., and the 69 of Tyler Weeks. Now Roy Maynard Jr. taking a peek around the outside of Ryan Elcano. Can he get the position? Can't quite get it done that time by Sonny Simpkins. 0.299 back to Carson Conway. Now Carson Conway taking a peek underneath the inside, coming off at 2. Sonny with the run down the back straightaway. You can see this flame shooting out from underneath that 68S machine as she is off of the loud pedal, gets right back on and leads lap number 3. Sonny Simpkins, Carson Conway 1 and 2. Nose to tail off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. You can get some good horsepower underneath the hood of that Motor City Throwdown 68S machine as she works the middle now into 3 off of 4. Now a bit of a slip up. Now here comes the 25cc of Carson Conway. Conway taking a peek down on the bottom side by side after turn number 2. Conway and Sonny Simpkins contact made as they rocket down the back straightaway. Sonny Simpkins right across the nose, but she pushes off of 4. Here comes Carson Conway. It's going to be Carson Conway by a nose that time by as we're just past the halfway point, 5 laps down. 3 laps remaining. Sonny Simpkins is not going away. She gets on the binders, preventing contact off of turn number 2. Now she's all over the backside of Carson into 3 and 4. Down to the bottom side. Carson Conway leads lap number 6. 2 laps remaining for the 25cc. Sonny Simpkins is not going away. She's trying to find her way back around the 25cc. She slips up that time off of 2. Carson able to get some space between himself and the 68S machine, but now Carson, he shoves the nose just a bit as the white flag comes out one more time around. Carson Conway right down through the bottom. Now here comes Miranda Scott. She gets it wrong over in turns 1 and 2, spins it around, but she keeps it going as we stay green coming off of turn number 4 for the final time. The 25cc, Carson Conway picks up the heat race win over the 68S of Sonny Simpkins. Tyler Weeks rounds out your top 3. Ryan Elcano, Roy Maynard Jr., and Miranda Scott. So Carson Conway, that 25cc, followed in his brother's foot trails and picked up the heat race win here in heat race number 2. He'll make his way down to the roller over there in turn number 4. Great battle between him and Sonny Simpkins. So getting instruction from our chief steward, James Dump Cecil, and owner of Slingin' Dirtwear Signs. Once again, Slingin' Dirtwear is where you can get all of the apparel for the 7th Annual Mike Moshier Classic down there on the entrance, the foyer to the Bakersfield Speedway. You can see that trailer down there with all the apparel, the Mike Moshier Classic t-shirts, all the Slingin' Dirtwear apparel as well. So Carson Conway, he makes his way through tech. He does not jump off of the roller, and he'll pick up the heat race win on heat race number 2, and that'll put us to heat race number 3. Lineup will look like this on the point from right here in Bakersfield, California. The double nickels at 55, that's Trenton Miller. To his outside, the 15K of Kimberly Brown. Inside of row number 2, the 188S of Steve McKinley. To his outside, the 8 up, that's Tori Seveson. Inside of row number 3, the 79 of Ryan Bars. To his outside, the N2 of Craig Hook. And in row number 4 to the inside, Jose Rosales from Tulare, California, the 13 machine. To his outside, the 40 of Alexis Blankenship. So 8 cars in our 3rd and final heat race for the American Stocks here tonight. Coming up next will be the Ground Pounders, the IMCA Modifieds. As the lights are out, we're going green flag racing right here off of turn number 4. And here we go with heat race number 3. Trenton Miller around the bottom side. He gets that car rotated. We got one around over there in turn number 4. That's the 188 of Steve McKinley. He keeps the candle lit, and we stay green. Trenton Miller leads lap number 1. Kimberly Brown, Tori Seveson, the 79 machine of Ryan Barnes rounds out your top 4. Then you pick up Jose Rosales from Tulare in the 13 machine. Alexis Blankenship trying to find a way around the 13 down the back straightaway. Trenton Miller, the 55 machine, Gills transmission, Pioneer paint entry down to the bottom side of turns 1 and 2. Trenton Miller looking for his third win here in the 2022 season. Mark McCaslin entry, that double 5 machine from Bakersfield, California, works off a turn number 4, nice and straight. That's the way to do it right there. Keep the car pointed in the direction you want it to go. Heavy contact upside down off of turn 2. Upside down goes Steve McKinley right at the KUZZ sign, and we have red flag conditions here in heat race number 3 for the American stocks. Bakersfield Speedway safety crew is right on the spot right there. You can see them working on that 188 of Steve McKinley, making his debut here in Bakersfield, California. Got sideways and into the fence, upside down over there off of turn number 2. Here he comes climbing out, ladies and gentlemen, give it up. The 188 Steve McKinley. Waving to the fans, driver is okay. What a ride for the 188 of Steve McKinley. So we'll get that car put back on all fours. We'll get it towed off the racing surface, get back to racing action. All that coming on lap number 3 of heat race number 3 for the American stocks here in Bakersfield, California. My, oh my. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 7th annual Mike Moshier Classic. But if you're looking for some sprint car racing action coming up next week in September 3rd, the return of the AMSOIL USAC CRA 410 sprint cars will be in the house with hobby stocks, mod lights, and mini stocks. That will be next week, September 3rd. The AMSOIL USAC CRA 410 sprint cars make their second appearance here in 2022 here at the Bakersfield Speedway. And if you want to see some more racing action just like that off of turn number 2, we have a $15 a month deal at www.bakersfieldspeedway.tv. We have hours and hours of past racing action on demand for only $15 a month. And you can watch them at any time, and you can cancel at any time at bakersfieldspeedway.tv. For only $15 a month, we have unlimited replays, and we have all of our racing action weekly posted on bakersfieldspeedway.tv. Trenton Miller, the double nickel, out front in that Pioneer Paint 55 machine. Mark McCaslin owned entry. Trenton looking for his third A main event victory here in 2022. 5 starts with 2 A mains so far for the 55 of Trenton Miller, looking for a heat race win here. As the green flag flies, here we go. Miller down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Kimberly Brown takes a peek to the outside. Brown pulls up door to door into turns 3 and 4. Kimberly Brown trying to make a move, but it's going to be Trenton Miller. As we're at the halfway point, 4 laps down, 4 laps remaining. Now here comes Ryan Barnes getting some pressure from Alexis Blankenship. Blankenship down to the bottom side, side by side, door to door, drag race down the back straightaway. Great battles going on through the racing surface. Kimberly Brown trying to find a way around Trenton Miller. Then Alexis Blankenship, Ryan Barnes side by side. Barnes goes up the hill. Blankenship will take away that position. Now she's up into P3. Off a turn number 4 for lap number 6, Trenton Miller. Now here comes Alexis Blankenship all over the backside of Kimberly Brown. Ladies are battling it out off a turn number 2. Kimberly Brown takes the advantage down the back straightaway, but Blankenship's all over the inside. Shove of the nose from Kimberly Brown. Now here comes Blankenship with a white flag in the air. One more time around for Trenton Miller. Mark McCaslin owned Pioneer Paint Gills transmission entry. Trenton Miller now has a sizable lead. Now here comes Alexis Blankenship to the inside. Blankenship on the inside. To the outside is the 15K of Kimberly Brown. Shoving the nose from Kimberly Brown. Trenton Miller will pick up the win, but Alexis Blankenship all the way from the back comes home. P2 over Kimberly Brown. Ryan Barnes doing a loop-de-loo over there. Turn number one of the 13 machine of Jose Rosales rounds out your top 5 over Craig Hauk. And that will do it for American Stock Heat Race number 3. So Trenton Miller, he'll make his way up to the roller over here in turn number 4. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are locked and loaded for the ground pounders, the IMCA Modifieds. Michael Scruggs and Buddy Shepard up on the bar. Green flags in the air, and here we go. Great start from the 22S of Buddy Shepard as he takes the advantage over Michael Scruggs and the 22D of Ryan Daves. Here comes Brian Clark around the outside of Andy Obertello into turns 3 and 4. Buddy Shepard leads lap number 1 in the advanced distribution number 22S machine. Shepard has that chassis hooked up and moving around the center of turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Great run for Buddy Shepard off of turn number 4. He'll lead lap number 2, and in the blink of an eye, just like that, Andy Obertello, all kinds of sideways, able to hold on to it. Caution over there in turns 1 and 2. Caution comes out. We've got 4 cars gathered over there in turns 1 and 2. Looks like Ryan Daves may have had some contact, some help over there from the 91 of Michael Scruggs as they were battling side by side. And collects the 51B of Brian Clark and your current point leader, Jerry Flippo, in the 13. So once again, as you can see, we are topless here tonight in all the IMCA divisions. You can see right into the cockpits of these ground pounders here at the Bakersfield Speedway. Hot August nights. You can see the drivers in there working the wheel around this high banks 1/3 clay oval. Looks like Ryan Daves, he'll make his way off the racing surface in that 22D on a track exit over in turn number 1. So Buddy Shepard, pretty much the only car to evade contact over there on that incident into turns 1 and 2. He'll be out front. That car seems like it is hooked up and working phenomenally for Buddy Shepard out of right here in Bakersfield, California, the asphalt driver and son of Dick Shepard, a very well-known household name here at the Bakersfield Speedway. Great to see the family traditions carrying on here with Buddy Shepard now behind the wheel of an IMCA Modified. So Buddy has that advanced distribution. Terry Henry's Race Prep number 22S machine out front with the lights going out, going green flag off of 4 next time by Andy Obertello from Hollister, California. And the 29 machine sitting in the number 2 spot, current point leader A1 Spring and Supply number 13, Jerry Flippo. Brian Clark and Michael Scruggs rounding out the field as the green flag is back in the air, and here we go. Buddy Shepard rails around turns 1 and 2. Down the back straight up he goes into turn number 3. Buddy is getting these dirt stuff figured out. That car is hooked up and moving. That last time I 14.957 for Buddy Shepard. Shepard off of turn number 4, down the front straightaway he goes. That last time by with a 14.833. Lap times are dropping for the 22S of Buddy Shepard. Shepard, Obertello, Flippo, Clark, and Scruggs, your top 5. Five laps down, 3 laps remaining. Michael Scruggs now showing some signs of fatigue off that left rear tire, smoke developing for the 91 from Porterville, California. 6 laps down, we'll get the white flag next time by. You can see that smoke pouring off the backside of the 91 machine. That is just tire smoke as that left rear tire is into the sheet metal for the 91. Straightaway lead for Buddy Shepard. Last time by was a 14.77. This time with the white flag in the air, Buddy Shepard with a 14.839. Shepard, Obertello, Jerry Flippo, and Brian Clark, your top 4. For the final time off of turn number 4, the 22 as Buddy Shepard picks up heat race number 1 over Andy Obertello, Jerry Flippo, Brian Clark, and Michael Scruggs. So, ladies and gentlemen, picking up his first IMCA modified heat race win, the 22S, Buddy Shepard. Give it up, fans. That young man right there getting it done up front. It's great to see the 22S back out front here at the Bakersfield Speedway. Coming up next will be our second and final heat race for the IMCA Modifieds here tonight on the point from Bakersfield, California. The 51G of Gavin Manning. To his outside in the 44 machine, he comes from Newhall, California. It's Eric Hamilton. Inside of row number 2 is Justin Gonzalez in the 0 machine. To his outside from Merced, California, it's DJ Shannon. And in row number 3, all by his lonesome in the Victory Circle chassis number 10 in, it's the Sandman, Rob Sanders. So lineup is good. Looks like we might show him one to go this time off of turn number 4, and we will do just that. Our flagman, Randy Schweitzer, up in the birdcage. It's a family affair here at the Bakersfield Speedway. Randy Schweitzer's throwing the flags. We got Sean Schweitzer down there doing the track prep in the water truck, and our fearless leader up here, Scott Schweitzer, track owner and promoter here at the Bakersfield Speedway. Lights are out. We're going green flag racing off of turn number 4. Gavin Manning, Eric Hamilton, Justin Gonzalez, DJ Shannon, and Rob Sanders. 8 laps the distance. Oh, looks like a problem for DJ Shannon. But green flag comes out and we go green. DJ Shannon slow on the bottom side of turns 1 and 2. Looks like the caution flag will have to come out for the 32 of DJ Shannon. Eric Hamilton did not want to see that flag come out as he was out in front of the 51 of Gavin Manning. So problems for DJ Shannon. Looks like we'll see if he got the problems figured out in that 32 machine from Merced, California. He'll tag the back of the field. So something mechanical going wrong with the 32 for DJ. DJ has picked up a win here already here in 2021, or 2022, excuse me. Sounds like DJ still having some mechanical issues. He'll leave the racing surface, and that'll leave us with 4 cars. No laps in the books. So it looks like we're trying to get the lineup correct once again. It'll put the 51G Gavin Manning on the inside of row number 1, 44 of Eric Hamilton from Newhall, California to his outside. So lineup is good. Looks like we should go 1 to go off of turn number 4. Manning and Hamilton, your front row. Justin Gonzalez and the Sandman, Rob Sanders in the Victory Circle chassis 10 into the outside of row number 2. Keep your eyes on that super late model, former super late model driver. See if he can find his way up to the front here in heat race number 2. Green flag is in the air, and here we go. Eric Hamilton to the outside of Gavin Manning. Manning slides right up in front of the 44. Contact made in turns 1 and 2. Justin Gonzalez now to the inside of Hamilton as he goes down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Lap 1 going to Gavin Manning. Gavin Manning in that Victory Circle chassis. Stevenson suspension. Entry goes and gets a big time push into turns 1 and 2, but is able to get back on the loud pedal and stretch his lead down the back straightaway. Manning, Hamilton, and Gonzalez, that's your top 3. Rob Sanders rounding out the top 4 as we're on lap number 2. Hamilton throws it in deep with Gonzalez all over his backside as he comes off a 2 down the back straightaway. Gavin Manning that last time by with a very quick lap in the 51G machine down the back straightaway. He goes into turn number 3. The lap time for Gavin Manning, 15.368. It's still Manning and Hamilton 1 and 2, but Hamilton now has a great run off a 2 down the back straightaway. Hamilton is there. Just past the halfway point this time by with 5 laps down, 3 laps remaining for Gavin Manning. Little G Money, Gavin Manning off of 2 down the back straightaway, able to put some more space between him and the Newhall, California entry, the 44 of Eric Hamilton. Manning, Hamilton, 1 and 2. Justin Gonzalez and Rob Sanders rounding out the field. We'll get the white flag this time off of turn number 4. Nice and smooth entry for the 51 that time by white flag in the air. One more time around for Gavin Manning. Silky smooth through 1 and 2 goes Gavin Manning as he rockets down the back straightaway for the final time. Off of turn number 4 from right here in Bakersfield, California. The 51G Gavin Manning picks up the win over Eric Hamilton in the 44, Justin Gonzalez, and the Sandman Rob Sanders. So getting it done in that Stevenson Suspension Victory Circle chassis number 51G, G Money Gavin Manning picks up the heat race number 2. And just like that, we are into our final division for heat races here at the 7th annual Mike Moshier Classic, the H&S Body Works Hobby Stock heat race number 1. Brock Crawford flying, Brian Childress, Rick Henderson, Jacob Vandergriff, Matt Ehler, Rick Childress, and Jimmy Irwin. Nudge your neighbor, make a friendly wager. Who's going to pick up heat race number 1 for the H&S Body Works Hobby Stocks? And it looks like we are not going with that one. A bit too early for the 46 machine of flying Brian Childress. He tried to get that advantage over Brock Crawford. Brock Crawford was not having any of it. So just like that, you're going to show there's a warning right there to the 46. He'll have one more attempt to get it right. If not, he will fall back with a penalty. Brian Childress was trying to get the extra advantage in that 46 machine. Could not get it done. Could not sneak it by the eyes of our starter, Randy Schweitzer, up in the birdcage. Brock Crawford, Brian Childress, Rick Henderson, Jacob Vandergriff, Matt Ehler, Rick Childress, and Jimmy the Shoe Irwin. Once again, nudge that neighbor, make a friendly wager. Who's going to pick up that heat race win right here on heat race number 1 for the H&S Body Works Hobby Stock Division? Nice tight formation over there in 3 and 4. Green flag is in the air, and here we go. Hobby Stock racing action at the 7th annual Mike Moshier Classic. Here comes Brian Childress with a run down the back straightaway. Rick Childress all over Vandergriff on the high side in 3 and 4. Vandergriff side by side having to get on the binder as the 46 of Brian Childress. He'll fall to the back of the field. Up front, the 74 of Brock Crawford now with the 119 of Rick Henderson in the number 2 spot. Matt Ehler, Jimmy Irwin, and Real Deal Rick Childress rounding out your top 5. Brock Crawford leads the field. 1 second advantage over Rick Henderson. Rick Henderson in the 119 down the back straightaway he goes. Now here comes the best battle on that surface is for 3rd. Jimmy Irwin down to the bottom side. Tries to feed it in deep to Matt Ehler. Ehler contact with Irwin. Hop in the right front was Jimmy Irwin. Caution flag will fly. Caution comes after Matt Ehler. Somehow, someway, Jimmy Irwin was able to hold on to that thing as all 4 tires were almost off of the racing surface when they made contact. You could see the right side of that 2X machine a bit wrinkled up. It's probably a broken left front, I would have to assume, for that 39 machine of Matt Ehler. You can see that wheel turn to the left. Possibly a broken tie rod, something on that 39. You can see the gloves off. That's going to do it for Matt Ehler. He'll make his way off the racing surface in that K&R 10 West Towing Skinny's Automotive entry. Over there in turn number 1 on track exit. We got another car lame up here on the front straightaway. The 46 of Flying Brian Childress. So up front, it's been all Brock Crawford and that Ethan Dotson Racing number 74. Rick Henderson's been in the number 2 spot. Jimmy Irwin now finds his way up into the top 3. Then making his debut right here at the Mike Moshier Classic. Mike, very beloved and dear to Rick Childress, real deal Rick Childress. Right there sitting in the number 4 spot, making his debut here at the Bakersfield Speedway in that brand new hobby stock build. For Rick Childress, great to see him back here racing with his family, his 2 sons, Flying Brian Childress, and your current point leader, the Outlaw, Ricky Childress Jr. And one of the biggest racing names here at the Bakersfield Speedway, the Childress family. Great to see him back behind the wheel. Great story for Rick Childress. Very inspirational. Beat cancer in that 44 machine. Come back out, did some asphalt racing. But he wanted to come out and play with his sons out here on the dirt. And it's great to have him back at his hometown or his home track here at the Bakersfield Speedway. And Rick Childress is an inspiration to all of us here. And we show him one to go this time by. Brock Crawford out front, Rick Henderson, Jimmy Irwin, the Rail Deal, Rick Childress, and the 44V of Jacob Vandegrift. Lights out, green flag right here off of 4. Brock Crawford up on the high side. He'll diamond down to the bottom side, get the RPM run, and green flag is in the air. Great restart for the 74 machine, but here comes the 2X. Jimmy Irwin gets around Rick Henderson, but Rick Henderson is not going away quietly. Gets the RPM run down the back straightaway as they drag racing the 3 and 4. Jimmy Irwin, big time shove of the nose. Somehow able to turn 3 and 4 to stay off the 119 of Rick Henderson. Jimmy Irwin now up in a P2, down the back straightaway they go. Jimmy Irwin coming through the field, started in the back of the pack. Now up in a P2, can he run down the 74? He's got 3 laps to do it as we got 5 laps down. Brock Crawford at Terry Henry's Race Prep 74 car down off a 2 down the back straightaway. That thing is a rocket ship as he goes into turn number 3. Last time by 16.5 for Brock Crawford, the advantage 1.3. Backs it up with another 16.5 and the advantage expands by 0.1. 1.4 is Jimmy the Shoe Irwin back from your leader. 1.0 back is Rick Henderson from Irwin, and then you pick up the 44 of the Real Deal, Rick Childress. One more time around, white flag in the air. Brock Crawford off a 2, down the back straightaway he goes for the final time into turn number 3. Crawford and Irwin, 1 and 2. Rick Henderson will round out your top 3 for heat race number 1. Brock Crawford gets it done. So that Terry Henry's Race Prep, Ethan Dotson Racing number 74, Brock Crawford gets it done with a top off. Here for the H&S Body Works Heat Race 1 of 3. Comes down to post-race text, going to get the thumbs up right there from Jimmy Irwin. So Jimmy will have some sheet work, some sheet metal work to do on that 2X machines. That's Steve's Automotive Truck and Repair, Napa Know-How, H&S Body Works 2X, Jimmy Irwin. That'll bring out heat race number 2. A lineup will look like this on the point. In the 7D machine from Chowchilla, California. That's Cody. To his outside from right here, Bakersfield, California, the 80D of Dylan Wilson. Inside of row number 2, the 26S of Steven Johnson. To his outside, the 12 of John Flippin. Inside of row number 3, it's the 49C of Colby Ward. To his outside from Strathmore, California, the 14R of Jim Reed. And in row number 4, all by his lonesome, that brand new build. And the number 2 machine, it's Kevin Irwin. So Kevin Irwin, that was the fastest car in hot lap sessions right there. We'll see what he can do from the back of the field. His dad, Jimmy Irwin, went from the back of the field up to P2. We'll see what that Harrison Street Automotive number 2 machine of Kevin Irwin can do as he be in the back of the field. Cody Dean and Dylan Wilson make up your front row. Steven Johnson, John Flippin, Colby Ward, Jim Reed, and the little shoe Kevin Irwin. Lights are out, green flag flying right here off of 4. They got to be side by side right at the cone. The green flag is in the air, and here we go. Dylan Wilson around the outside. Can he make it stick as we're 3 wide off of turn number 2? Colby Ward down to the bottom. The meet in the sandwich, the 26S of Steven Johnson and John Flippin on the outside. Contact down the front straightaway. Steven Johnson and John Flippin. Kevin Irwin diamonds the corner right in front of Colby Ward. They make contact into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Irwin now to the inside of the 12 of John Flippin. Can't quite get the run down the front straightaway, but out front is all the ADD of Dylan Wilson. Dylan Wilson, Cody Dean, 1 and 2. Cody Dean, the first time coming here to the Bakersfield Speedway in that 70 all the way from Chowchilla, California. The 26S of Steven Johnson looking for yet another win here in 2022. Kevin Irwin now to the bottom side trying to get underneath John Flippin, but Flippin has the RPM run around the outside. Dylan Wilson, that last time by 16.645 for the young man out of right here in Bakersfield, California, looking for his second A feature win. And the best battle on the track was between that 12 and 2, and just like that, Kevin Irwin finds his way around John Flippin up into the top 4. Steven Johnson now all over the backside of the 70 of Cody Dean from Chowchilla, California, trying to find a way around. Can't quite get it done. Goes in deep into turns 3 and 4. Dylan Wilson has it on cruise control on a Sunday drive out front of that ADD. Here comes the big slider from Steven Johnson. Crossover from Cody Dean. Slide job, city in turns 1 and 2. White flag is in the air this time by for the ADD of Dylan Wilson. Wilson with a straightaway advantage over that battle going on for second, third, and fourth. We got smoke coming out of the back of the 12 of Jonathan Flippin. Checkered flag will fly. Dylan Wilson picks up heat race number 2 in the number 2 spot. It's going to be the 26S of Steven Johnson. Right at the stripe, the 70 by a nose of Cody Dean over Kevin Irwin. Jonathan Flippin rounding out your top 5, Colby Ward and Jim Strathmore. Jim Reed, from Strathmore, California, that 14R. So Dylan Wilson picks up the heat race win here on heat race number 2 for the H&S Body Works Hobby Stock Division, and we are down to our third and final heat race for the Hobby Stocks here tonight. This is our final heat race of the night. So after this heat race, I'm sure we'll do a bit of track prep, put some moisture back in the racing surface on a beautiful Saturday night here in Bakersfield, California. Breeze is moving in the right direction, blowing all the dust and debris to the south, away from the fans up here. So heat race number 3, lineup will look like this on the point from right here in Bakersfield, California. Got that thing put back together, and hopefully he can get everything done. That number 99 is the Need for Speed, Donnie Mead. And to his outside, your current point leader here in 2022, looking for yet another A main event win in that Pyrenees Cafe, Harrison Street Automotive, number 16. It's the outlaw Ricky Childress Jr. Inside of row number 2, the lady driver out of Bakersfield, California, the 25B of Brooke Simmental. To her outside, in the number 21, it's Kyle Wood. Inside of row number 3, the 172 of Tyler Irwin. To his outside, the 35 of Johnny Wood. And rounding out the field in the 62, it's Tate Loftus. All right, the Need for Speed, Donnie Mead, he is on the point. He's got a tall order to his outside to be able to hold off that 16 of the outlaw Ricky Childress Jr. Brooke Simmental, Kyle Wood making up row number 2. The 172 of Tyler Irwin, 35 of Johnny Wood, the 62 of Tate Loftus. So a lot of heavy hitters here in heat race number 3. So Donnie Mead, a creeping pace down there on the back straightaway. Now they're side by side, very slow pace. And a turn number 3. Green flag is in the air. Heat race number 3 underway for the H&S Body Works Hobby Stock division. Down to the bottom side goes Donnie Mead around the outside. Here comes the 16 of the Outlaw, Ricky Childress Jr. He'll bring the 21 of Kyle Wood with him, and the 172. Here comes the flip-flop. It's Tyler Irwin. And to turns 1 and 2 they go on lap number 1. It's going to be the 16 of Ricky Childress Jr., that Harrison Street Automotive entry. Down the back straight into turn number 3. Holders, heating and air conditioning, also title sponsors for the 16 machine. McKinley Window and Door, also on board for here for the Mike Moshier Classic. Childress, 16.4 last time by. What will it be this time by? He is on a rail. 16.327 for the Outlaw, Ricky Childress Jr. Donnie Mead taking a peek to the inside of the 172, but here comes Tyler Irwin with a shot in the shorts to Kyle Wood into turn number 3. Tyler Irwin tries the slider, but can't quite clear. He'll have to turn it down, and around the outside goes Kyle Wood. Door to door, feeding the right rear to the 21 goes the 172 of Tyler Irwin. Now here comes Tate Loftus. Tate Loftus down to the bottom side. Kyle Wood chops the nose, and Kyle Wood trying to take a piece of the 172. Tate Loftus now, he'll work around Kyle Wood, making contact. He just by a nose there, to thread a needle right through the 62 and the 21. 5 laps down, make it 6 this time by. We got the white flag next time for the Outlaw, Ricky Childress Jr., the 172 of Tyler Irwin in the number 2 spot. Donnie Mead side by side now with Kyle Wood for the top 4. White flag in the air this time by the Outlaw, Ricky Childress Jr., with a straightaway lead over the 172 of Tyler Irwin. Off of turn number 4, we got one around right in front of our leaders, but we stay green, and it's going to be the Outlaw, Ricky Childress Jr. Picks up the heat race over the 172 of Tyler Irwin, 62 of Tate Loftus, the 21 of Kyle Wood, and the Need for Speed, Donnie Mead, rounding out that top 5. So Kyle Wood showing his displeasure with the 172 of Tyler Irwin over there in turns 3 and 4. A heavy contact made between them over there in turns 1 and 2. About lap 4, you can see that wrinkled up right rear for the 172 of Tyler Irwin. But that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for all of our heat races here tonight on the 7th Annual Mike Moshier Classic here at the Bakersfield Speedway. We should get back out there, probably do some track prep. The standing light will be lit, ladies and gentlemen. The standing light is lit. Now's the perfect time to get down there to the starting line pits. The starting line concession stands. Get yourself a nice cold beverage. Get yourself a hot dog. The chicken strips and fries, all the good things. You get down there to the Budweiser Pavilion. Get yourself a nice cold Budweiser, Michelob Ultra, Ghost Energy drink. And now the standing light is lit, and we'll get right back to racing action here shortly.